Welcome to WorkSpeak, business English for confident professionals. Imagine you're in a project meeting. Everyone has good ideas. Everyone speaks fluent English, but one person sounds noticeably less confident. Listen carefully. See if you can spot why. Thanks for joining, everyone. Let's discuss our sales strategy for the new product launch.
I think we should focus on small business customers first.
I think that's an interesting idea.
I think they'll respond faster than large companies.
I think we should also consider our recent customer data.
I think that's true.
I think we need to make a decision before Friday. Did anything sound strange? The grammar was correct. The vocabulary wasn't difficult. Nobody made an obvious English mistake. So why did the conversation sound less natural than a real professional meeting? Hold that thought. We'll come back to it in just a moment. By the end of today's lesson, you'll know why professional speakers don't rely on one phrase like, I think, for every idea. Instead of memorizing a long list of expressions, you'll learn something much more useful: how to choose language based on your communication purpose. Sometimes you're sharing an opinion. Sometimes you're making a recommendation. Sometimes you're presenting evidence or inviting discussion. When your language matches your intention, you sound clearer, more confident, and more professional. Let's discover how experienced professionals make that choice naturally. Let's return to the meeting at WorkSpeak Solutions. This time, don't focus on grammar. Instead, pay attention to what each person is trying to accomplish. We need to decide on our sales strategy before Friday.
I think small businesses should be our first priority.
I think our customer survey gives us another perspective.
I think they're easier to reach with our current budget.
I think larger companies may generate higher long-term value.
I think we need stronger reasons before we decide. Notice something interesting? Sophia is expressing an opinion. David is referring to information. Alex is asking the team to make a decision. Those are three different communication purposes, yet everyone keeps using exactly the same phrase, I think. That's the real problem, not incorrect English, but communication that doesn't clearly show each speaker's intention. Here's an important question. Why do experienced professionals rarely repeat the same expression over and over? It's because they aren't choosing words first. They're choosing their purpose first. Think about a meeting. Sometimes you simply want to share your view. Other times you want to recommend an action. Sometimes you need to report what you've observed. Or maybe you want to support an idea with evidence. Those situations aren't the same. So why should they all sound the same? Professional communication becomes more effective when your wording reflects what you're trying to do. Instead of asking, what's another way to say, I think? Try asking, what am I trying to achieve right now? That small shift changes how you communicate, and that's exactly what we'll build in the next section. Now we know the real issue isn't grammar, it's communication purpose. Let's organize our language the way professionals do. Instead of memorizing random alternatives to I think, we'll group expressions by what they're designed to accomplish. 1. Expressing an opinion. Sometimes you simply want to share your personal view. For example, I believe, from my perspective. These tell people you're giving your opinion, not presenting a fact. Many learners use I think every time they speak. Instead, remember this. Different opinions can sound more natural when you vary your language. 2. Making a recommendation. Now imagine you want the team to take action. You're not just sharing an opinion anymore. You're recommending something. You might say, I'd recommend, we should consider. Notice the difference. Recommendations help move a discussion toward a decision. They're different from simply saying what you think. 3. Making an observation. Sometimes your goal isn't to persuade anyone. You're simply describing what you've noticed. For example, I've noticed that, it seems that. These expressions sound more objective because you're reporting an observation instead of giving a personal opinion. 4. Presenting evidence. Strong workplace communication often includes evidence. Instead of saying, "I think customers prefer this," you could say, "The data suggests, based on our recent survey." Evidence makes your message more credible because you're supporting your idea with information. 5. Offering a suggestion. When solving problems together, collaboration matters. Instead of giving commands, professionals often say, "How about," "We could." Suggestions invite people to explore solutions together. 6. Encouraging collaboration. Sometimes your goal isn't to speak longer. It's to encourage others to contribute. Expressions like, "What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts." Keep meetings collaborative instead of one-sided. Here's the key idea. Don't choose an expression first. Choose your purpose first. Then select language that matches that purpose. Let's return to the same meeting. This time, listen to how each speaker changes their language based on what they're trying to accomplish. Thanks, everyone. We need to agree on our sales strategy before Friday.
From my perspective, small businesses should be our first priority.
The latest customer survey suggests larger companies may offer stronger long-term growth.
I'd recommend starting with smaller businesses because we can reach them more quickly.
Pause and respond. Share your opinion using an opinion expression.
I've noticed that our strongest customer feedback came from companies with fewer than 50 employees.
Pause and respond. Make a recommendation. How about combining both ideas? We could begin with small businesses while preparing a strategy for larger clients next quarter. Pause and respond. Invite the team into the discussion.
That sounds like a balanced approach.
I agree. The evidence supports that direction.
Great. Let's move forward with that plan. Let's look at why this conversation sounded more professional. Sophia began with,
From my perspective,
that clearly signaled she was sharing a personal opinion. Next, David said,
The latest customer survey suggests.
Instead of giving another opinion, he introduced evidence. That immediately made his point sound more objective and more credible. Later, Sophia used,
I'd recommend.
Now she wasn't simply expressing a view, she was guiding the team's decision. Finally, Alex asked,
How about combining both ideas?
Rather than telling everyone what to do, he invited collaboration. Notice the pattern. Each expression matched a different communication purpose. That's why the discussion felt more natural and more effective. Professional communication isn't about avoiding "I think." It's about choosing language that helps people understand your intention. Let's practice saying these expressions naturally. Listen first, then repeat after me. Model. From my perspective. Now you. I'd recommend starting with your turn. The data suggests. Again. Now, let's connect the words smoothly. From my perspective, we should focus on small businesses. Repeat after me. One more time, with natural rhythm and sentence stress. Excellent. Now, try saying the entire sentence confidently without reading. Speaking practice. Now it's your turn to participate in the meeting. I'll give you a workplace situation. Choose language that matches your communication purpose. Situation 1. Your manager asks for your opinion. Don't use "I think." Pause and respond. Situation 2. Your team needs a recommendation for the next project step. Use a recommendation expression. Situation 3. You've reviewed recent customer feedback. Present evidence instead of an opinion. Situation 4. The discussion is slowing down. Invite your colleagues to contribute. Great work. Did you notice something? You weren't trying to remember synonyms. You were choosing language based on what you wanted to accomplish. That's exactly how professional communicators think. Challenge. In your very next meeting, pay attention to how often you say, "I think." Challenge yourself to replace it whenever your purpose is different. Maybe you'll make a recommendation. Maybe you'll present evidence. Or maybe you'll invite someone else's opinion. Small changes like these can make your communication sound more confident and more collaborative. Let's review today's key idea. Using "I think" isn't wrong. The problem is using it for every communication purpose. Today, you discovered 3 important principles. First, repetition can weaken professional communication. Second, different workplace intentions require different expressions. And third, always choose your purpose before choosing your words. The next time you're in a meeting, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve? Then, select language that supports that goal. That's how confident professionals communicate. In today's lesson, you learned how to express your own ideas more effectively. But meetings aren't only about speaking. They're also about responding to other people's ideas. In our next lesson, you'll learn how to agree, disagree, and build on a colleague's suggestion professionally, without sounding too direct or too hesitant. I'll see you there. Before you go, I have a quick challenge for you. First, hit the like button if you learned at least one new phrase today. Then, subscribe so you never miss a new business English lesson. Next, leave a comment using one of today's expressions. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The more you practice, the faster you'll improve. Finally, click the next video on your screen. It's the perfect next step to help you speak more naturally and more confidently in business situations. Keep learning, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.